push this too hard. All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Insensitive Podcast. It's your boy P here. I'm here with some of my niggas in my got Brandon here. What up, nigga?
What up?
My nigga Brandon here. We got our boy Ryan here. He was here last week with us, discussing these topics with us, and we got one more guest, my boy Chris.
What's up?
What up, my nigga? This is my dude from work right here. This is pretty much my supervisor, nigga. So you are my supervisor. So yeah, got my boy Chris here. He worked with me and Ryan. We ain't gonna get into too much of that, but appreciate you coming, my nigga. Really appreciate you coming. Really. Yeah, my nigga. So I want to give everybody a reminder that our episodes are gonna drop every Tuesday. So just reminding you guys, we said that last week. That's gonna be the date for right now. That's the official date, every Tuesday. If it changes again, we'll let you guys know. And since we have a couple guests here, we're going to do our tradition. We're going to do a couple shots. I think B, you the only one that's going to take one, nigga. You ain't going to take one, B? You going to take a shit? Brandon take one. So you good? You good, Chris?
Yeah, I don't drink. So.
Okay.
Appreciate it, though.
Yeah, so we're going to do our tradition. Every time we got a guest, y'all, this is never going to die. Any guest on here, just know you taking a shot.
Chris get a pass.
Chris, yeah, you get a pass.
He
can
take a shot.
Because he can fire my ass. So you get a pass.
I ain't trying to be like that. Yeah,
he definitely get a pass. Drink. Yeah, we got, you already know it's Ciroc boys. Damn, is it gonna be enough for 3 shots? Hold on.
You can give me a little less.
Good?
Yeah.
Nah, you good. This nigga.
Alright.
My nigga Chris, damn, bro. Put your water up.
Drink some water, yeah.
Put your water up.
Episode 9.
Episode 9, y'all. Did
9 episodes deep.
We already 9 deep. Did I say this was episode 9? Did I say that?
I don't know.
Well, this is episode 9 if I didn't say that. Alright. So we got today. We're going to talk some music shit today. We got a lot of music shit to talk about. We usually always start with that, so we'll do that first. Got sports, and my nigga Chris here. He got the LeBron shirt on. He repping his favorite player all time. So
yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But it's TV on mute.
No question today, guys. So we got too much to talk about.
Yeah, no Q&A question. What else we got? We got what's trending segment. Got something for the shout out segment, and then we'll see where we at with time with that, and then we'll close out. So y'all, this nigga's always playing, bro. All right, so you ready, my nigga? You gonna jump in this shit with us, bro?
Yeah.
I know you got some shit for this sports shit. I know you got some, cause I got something to show you too, and we gonna get into a deep discussion about that shit. So.
All right,
so let's get into it. So music. First of all, first thing we gonna talk about with music, we gonna talk about Young Thug. We talked about it last week with Ryan. What happened? Oh, the music.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so we gonna talk about Young Thug's album that dropped last week. So Much Fun. I said what prediction I gave? I said 50,000. He was gonna sell first week. Ryan.
Yeah.
So I was dead wrong. So he came out. He has the #1 album in the country. So Much Fun debuted at #1 on the Billboard. It sold 131,000 first week. What did you say? I don't remember what you said, but you said he was gonna sell more than Ross, I think. And Ross sold 70,000, I think, 2 weeks prior. So. Congrats to Young Thug, #1 album in the country. Definitely showed some growth on the album. That was a fucking good album.
Yeah, I don't even really mess with Young Thug like that. I said like on the last episode, I don't really mess with him like that. But I listened to the album and they got a lot of good songs on there. It's actually a pretty good album.
Yeah. I don't think you don't fuck with Young Thug.
Yeah, I don't listen to it.
You don't listen to them niggas. So what's your type of rap?
I'm older, man. So I'm from like the the boom bap era, So like
Nas.
Like I'm only like most stuff.
KRS, Nas.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit a generation older than me, like the KRS and stuff like that. But like the '90s and like early 2000s, that's like.
So who's your?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's
real hip hop.
But like it took like some of the newer cats like Kendrick and like J. Cole and some of them dudes, how they did it to make me see kind of how the new cats do it. You know what I mean? I don't know, because back in the day we listened to more of obviously the West Coast, the Death Row and all that stuff was big.
Who's your favorite rapper ever?
Most Def.
That's your favorite rapper all time? Okay.
Like,
I can't be mad at that, yeah.
Because my thing is like with the old, like the 90s and that kind of golden era rappers, like they stand out more to me. Like they have a lot of more different approaches than some of these dudes now. Like, because like business wise, like I don't know, but everybody does their thing and it's a new age thing. So I'm not saying it's just my opinion how I feel. But I don't think
exactly. Yeah, I feel you.
Dudes have
Opinion, man.
Yeah,
I feel you. So one more thing I want to say. Well, a couple more things. So Much Fun. Young Thug's album. It earned the second biggest streaming week for a hip hop album in 2019. He had a little under 168 million streams.
The first one. It had to be
2019. I don't know. Who dropped this year?
It had to be for album, or is it saying?
Yeah, this is the second biggest streaming week for a hip hop album this year. He had 168 million streams.
Chance?
Nah, hell no, it wasn't Chance. It wasn't Drake because Drake ain't dropped this year. I don't know. It don't even say, so I don't know. But so yeah, Young Thug, he also went on Big Boy's Neighborhood, and he had a couple things to say. Damn, that shit is connected here. Hold on. So he was Big Boy was asking him about the Rich Homie Quan shit. He had a lot of shit to say, because I personally think that Young Thug is homosexual. That's what I think. That nigga's gay.
Right.
I think that nigga's gay.
Not anything wrong with it.
There's not anything wrong with that, but I think he's gay. Just the shit that he does, the shit that he says. And he had this to say. I'm gonna play it on Big Boy's Neighborhood. Is what he said.
People say gay, but it's like at one point I probably had more. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's serious. I'm definitely sure you have more than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if people think that I'm gay, I can't. They already misjudged. Mm-hmm. I'm the straightest man in the world. Man, I hate guys. Yeah. Talking about. I'm not even having no threesome with no racket. It's like, people judge me.
What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? That you hate? Come on, bro. That is some shit that a gay nigga would say. I'm the straightest man in the world. Is that not something a gay nigga would say? Is that
I don't know
not?
what you're talking about. I hate guys.
So that's some shit a gay nigga would say. This is my opinion. So like we said, nothing wrong with that. And then he also asked, Big Boy also asked Young Thug, because of course him and Rich Homie Quan, they were like best friends. You couldn't keep them two away from each other, him and Rich Homie Quan. So they asked him about that, and this is what he said.
Did you say?
Who? Oh, Rich Homie him? Yeah, this is what he said.
Did you say that to us? I don't know what you're talking about, but Quan, he know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, he did a show before, and I think a guy had touched his leg on stage, like a fan was like, "Yo." He was standing on the end of the stage, and people was touching him, grabbing his shoes, and he was like, "Yo, I ain't with that gay shit, nigga. I ain't with that thug shit." And it's just like, "Damn, you my brother. Like, nigga, I got your name tattooed on me. What the fuck is you doing?" So it's just like, it's like that. Like, I forgive him because I know he really be drunk. Hey, Quan get drunk. Damn. He get drunk to the point where I have to carry him out the club. Like, so I know for a fact he was drunk, but it's like. So at the moment, there's not a conversation, nothing. You over here, he's over there, and it's just I heard. You know what it is? Yeah, and
so that's pretty much all he said. So if you didn't hear, he said Rich Homie Quan had a show. Somebody was touching on his leg, and he said, "I'm not with that gay shit. I ain't with that thug shit." So I'm guessing that's why Young Thug is mad at Rich Homie Quan. That's a stupid reason. And then another thing, to not help his gay argument, you got another man's name tatted on you. He said, "That's my brother. I got your name tattooed on me." That's weird. Yeah. I'm not tatting no other man's name on me. If he's not my father, my real brother, somebody that passed away, I'm not doing that.
Oh, my
son, exactly. If that's my son, yeah. But I have a son. I ain't got my son's name tatted on me. But a nigga that, come on, bro.
I don't know, man. I think certain things that he do, I think is.
That's your boy Ryan. Speak on him.
Yeah, go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, okay, go ahead. But yeah, so that's pretty much the most important things that were asked in that interview.
Ain't nothing wrong with being gay. It's just like, if you going stop having to speculate, bro.
If you're not gay, you don't. If he knows he's not gay, don't speak on it. You don't even have to speak on it.
You're just doing too much. You're talking in circles and shit, making yourself sound stupid. So it's like,
yeah.
But
good album though.
Yeah.
Yeah, great
album though.
Good ass album. That's all we really care about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great album. I give it to him. I give him props for that. He's definitely showing his growth. His numbers showed his growth. The lyrics he was talking, the shit he was talking about the album, he definitely showing his growth. But yep. So we're gonna move on from Thug. Let's see. I think I had one more thing. Oh no, they didn't ask him about the Lucci situation. I don't think they asked him about that. But
no, they did.
Big Boy did.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't seen about it. Oh, okay. But I'm not gonna get into all that. That's a whole nother topic, another conversation. What else we got? We talked about Jay-Z's deal with the NFL last week. Me, Ryan, and Brandon, we had a good little conversation about that. So we were talking about if you think it. What you think about? Did you hear about that, Chris?
Yeah, I don't really know all the details of it, but
basically,
go ahead.
Basically, he signed a deal with the NFL to oversee all the entertainment aspects of it.
Yeah.
And, Ja Rule, he basically what was it?
Stick said Ja Rule.
Oh, Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri turned down a similar deal.
Jermaine Dupri pretty much said it was said that he called Jay-Z and Jay-Z told him to turn down the same deal a year before. So they saying
he
Jay-Z
took it a year later.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's saying. That's what is being
said.
said.
It's business, so it's like you know he's gonna do what he's gonna do. You can't tell him to not do it because look where he got making the decisions he's made. So
yeah.
You know.
And there's a video I'm gonna play. This is Jermaine Dupri. He responded. He had an interview with V103, so he responded to the speculations of what people were saying about the Jay-Z situation. Yeah, Ja Rule. Here's Ja Rule.
So, long story short, Hov called me when he saw this clip, right? And he called me and we talked about the clip. The reason I came up here today is to just make sure that I let everybody know he never told me don't do what I was doing.
Okay.
Right? And I think that that's the part that I see Flex said, confirmation, everybody, like, you know, when I tell people that he and I spoke,
right,
they run with that. That's not a secret. Everybody knows Jay-Z's my man, right? Me and Jay-Z is like this.
Right.
So, we speak, you know, and it's not, I didn't think that my friends and myself, me speaking to my friends is like a secret, right? So, you asked me when I walked in here, did I speak to Flex? Yes, I spoke to Flex. Right. And I told Flex, I spoke to Hov.
Right.
Me and Hov spoke. From there, you know, I don't have no control,
So we don't know who's telling the truth. Yeah. We don't know who's telling the truth.
Just like it's business. So it's like you even think about like Michael Jackson was friends with Paul McCartney, and when the Beatles' rights came up, he bought them right underneath their nose.
I just saw a video about that. Akon was talking about that. I just saw something
Michael
about
Jackson for that.
Yeah, I just saw that.
So like Jay-Z's is a businessman. This is what it is. Like you should have took the deal if you mad about it.
Yeah.
If you got offered it first, why didn't you just take it?
Yeah, but we don't know who's telling the truth because Funkmaster Flex, he's the one that said that Jermaine Dupri talked to Jay-Z and JD just confirmed that happened. So I mean, okay, so if you did talk to Funk Flex, what'd you tell him? So we don't know who's telling the truth, but it is what it is, man. Like y'all said, Jay-Z's a businessman. Of course, is a dog-eat-dog world in the business world. So it's like exactly, that's true. You do have to step on toes. So speaking of Jay-Z, Dame Dash, he did a interview on the podcast called No Jumper. And this is y'all niggas. Wait till we get this video shit rolling. Video coming soon, by the way, nigga. Me and Brandon got a plan. We were saying that by episode 15 we were trying to do video, and then by episode now we need to say it because we need to do it. So by episode 10 we trying to get on Apple Podcast. So episode 10 hopefully be on there. Episode 15 we'll have video to y'all. That's our plan right now. I definitely want to say that on the air because we need to go ahead and get that done. So what was I saying? Dame Dash. So he went on No Jumper podcast. They were talking about the Jay-Z NFL situation, and this is what Dame Dash had to say about that.
I mean, everybody knows Jay ain't shit. Like that, everyone knows that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
does that surprise you at all? Because that seems particularly shady.
Listen, if you ask anyone in the industry, it's a common knowledge that Jay ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
Define ain't shit for our audience.
He's about the bag. You know, we all know that. It's about he's self-preserving, period. Like, you know, it's just that the people he does it to don't have, like, Beyonce next to him. They don't have that kind of a power. But, you know, this dude here, everyone's looking. So I just think he kind of, like, you know, like, he used to do that shit. Like, he's like, it's not even like a secret. You know, he do that shit to me with girls. Like, you know, he'll be like, you know, I'll be talking to a chick and I'll be like, yo, she asked me to do this, that, and the third. And he'd be like, I wouldn't do it. And then the next day he's wifed her. And I'd be like, oh, that's some funny shit.
Right.
You know what you're dealing with when you deal with Jay. You know, Jermaine Dupri, I feel like, you know, again, for me to talk, it's hard because I can't completely be objective, but it's the news of today. But I just think if you look under the hood, all the answers will reveal themselves.
And everybody, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people know about Dame Dash and Jay-Z's history. Them niggas don't fuck with each other, but that's some hating ass shit.
Right?
That's some hating ass shit.
Right?
He really said that shit. So I'm like, damn, he talking about Beyonce when he said that shit? Because that's who Jay-Z's wife, obviously, but ain't no telling what the fuck. He's salty about that whole situation that happened. I wouldn't have said what that nigga just said, but
he owes Jay-Z a lot, though, so, you know.
You said what?
I think he owes Jay-Z a lot. They worked together.
Yeah, they did.
You know.
They did. But, hey, man.
They both made it work. They both came up together.
I wouldn't say no shit like that. Maybe it is true that Jay ain't shit, but you of all people shouldn't be the nigga to say that. Because everybody, especially everybody knows y'all history, and everybody knows
Yeah.
that you two got beef. So it's just gonna look like some hate in that shit. So I wouldn't even said anything if I was him.
It looks like it and it sounds like it too. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
just
And apparently the dude that was interviewing him, this is the last video I'm gonna play the rest of the podcast. I don't think I have any more videos. So this is the last video I'm gonna play. This is the dude that interviewed Dame Dash. This is a white dude. I don't know his name on the No Jumper shit. This is what he said.
I paid Dame Dash for this interview. Now, it wasn't much. It was $500. But I paid $500. It was weird because my publicist is going back and forth with his Connect, whatever it is. And the publicist or the Connect is like, yeah, is this a paid interview? And my publicist asked me, she's like, what am I supposed to say when people ask that? And I said, say no. Say it's not paid. And so she said that. And then they come back to her and they say, we're going to need $500 for his haircut and his driver. That was what they specified.
Nigga ain't got
Now,
no hair.
we thought this was pretty hilarious after because, like, his haircut, like, he literally does not have a hair on his head. That's not a diss or anything. I'm sure there would be some hair on his
So
head.
that's pretty much it. But yeah, so he said he paid Dame Dash $500 to come do that interview, which is what this nigga Chris like. What the fuck? So yeah, Dame Dash, you want some hating ass nigga shit? The shit you said was unnecessary. I know, of course, he's not gonna hear this, but I'm just giving my opinion on it. But that was some hating ass shit.
And Jermaine Dupri, like, he got a bunch of artists that he used to work with talking about that he did them wrong.
Jermaine Dupri?
Yeah.
I believe it. It's the music industry,
Chris
so I believe
Cross
it.
and, like, Lil Bow Wow and all them dudes.
I
like,
believe it. I believe
all
it.
kind of people from So.
Everybody's getting fucked in the music
So, I
industry.
mean,
Yeah.
so you got this time.
everybody's thinking about their bottom line, man. And that's just how business is, man.
Yeah.
You can't take it personal. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So what we got next? Kodak Black has pleaded guilty with his case. He's facing 8 years in prison. He's pled guilty to federal weapons charges. CBS Miami and Associated Press reported this. Authorities say Kodak could face up to 8 years in prison. Sentencing is reportedly is set for November 13th. So I personally think Kodak is never going to
I
end.
think he's gonna be locked up now because that's like.
He just ain't learning, bro.
It's never
Judge
gonna
is
end.
gonna see that he's been arrested multiple times in the past couple years, man. They keep giving him second chances, bro.
You hate to see that shit for a young black nigga, bro, but
Especially from Florida, yeah. For me,
he out here doing
yeah.
shit to himself. This is like, man.
It ain't
You
that
can't
hard
give
not
a
to
nigga
stay
that
into
many
that shit,
chances.
man. Like, come on, man.
You don't fuck with Kodak either. He's like,
I
oh,
only know who he is because he got into it with somebody like a little while ago.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like he said something everybody's mad about.
Oh,
I was
Nipsey.
over in Nipsey Hussle, yeah.
Yeah.
he said something about Nipsey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the shit with Long. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucked up. Yeah, that was fucked
So
up.
I heard his name before, but never checked him out. So no, I wasn't aware.
He can rap. He
Yeah,
don't.
he can rap.
He can rap. He's not like a great. He ain't like one of the best rappers out, but he can rap. He can spit.
Okay.
Yeah, he from Florida, so he can spit. What else we got? What? Oh, Snake. What, you trying to take another one? Hold on. So next we got. I want to say rest in peace and condolences to T Grizzly and his family. T Grizzly's car was shot up in Detroit. Yeah, his manager was killed, who was his aunt. T Grizzly is fine. He's okay, but I want to say every week we gotta have a rest in peace on this goddamn podcast. Seemed like we had a rest in peace that we gave out every fucking episode. And I got another one later on. But yeah, so rest in peace to T Grizzly's aunt. He posted a video of her on Instagram. He said, "Since I was 12, we've been going everywhere together. How you gonna go to heaven without me? I don't even know what to say. JB, I wanted to show you the world. I wanted to show the world your smile. I love you so much." So I want to say rest in peace. That's a fucked up situation. Yeah, rest in peace to and condolences to T Grizzly and his family. I'm glad he is okay. Unfortunately, he lost someone in the process, but it never ends in this music industry. It's always some shit like that going on, sadly.
Some hater in the corner, man.
Yeah, I haven't even seen any more details about the situation, but I know that was the most important thing. So, like I said, condolences to his family. Next we got here, I wanted to share a story about Big Sean. Just bigging up Big Sean. He gifted a $100,000 recording studio to the Detroit Boys and Girls Club. Detroit's own Big Sean is giving back to the community that raised him by donating a state-of-the-art recording studio to the local Boys and Girls Club worth a whopping $100,000. During a recent performance at his second annual DON Detroit's On Now weekend, Big Sean revealed the new music studio at the Dodge Boys and Girls Club. So shout out to Big Sean for doing that for his city. That's a big thing there.
Do that, yeah.
Yeah, and next I got we gonna run through these two real quick. Nipsey Nipsey Hussle has a deal with Puma. He's gonna drop a collaborative, a little collab with Puma on September 5th, 2019. I see you looking over there.
He died.
Yeah, what that mean? Just because he died.
His estate, I'm
But
sure.
His
who's
family's
controlling
gonna. That's probably his family. Yeah. I'm trying to skim through it real quick. Pretty sure it's going through his family. They said it's a collection of from khaki suits to track suits. Project is very special to our team. So yeah, it looks like some clothes coming out through Puma. This nigga's like, did he die? That's fucked up.
Because I'm trying to figure out who's controlling this.
It has to be his family, his estate that has his ownership and all that. Yeah. So shout out, check that out if y'all haven't already. September 5th, that's coming. Puma, Nipsey Hussle. What we got here? Next, all I got is Drake being sued, and then we got a couple things on Drake, and then we got one more topic we gonna get into that mixtape shit. Do you have anything in your phone for that mixtape shit?
Nah, I don't.
Damn, so we gonna have to freestyle. It's okay, we can freestyle. All right, so Drake is being sued for allegedly stealing the beats for his hit singles "Nice for What" and "In My Feelings." I know how Chris feel about Drake. This nigga does not fuck with Drake. Why'd you say? Oh yeah, because
You
you was
don't like
letting.
Drake?
Nah, he don't
I don't
At
like
all?
Drake. I don't like Drake.
When I first met Chris, we was training, and you was letting me hear. You said he stole his flow from somebody.
Fonte.
Yeah,
Like-
whoever he was.
Like,
I
you
never
hear
heard
Young
him.
Fonte and you hear like Drake. I'm not like, look, Drake works hard. He deserves everything he got. I'm not hating on the brother's game. Like,
Yeah.
do your thing. He's obviously an all-time rapper. Like, especially business-wise, as much money he's made, the
Yeah.
impact he's made. You can't hate on that.
Yeah.
That's business. But like when people talk about all time, like, are we talking about the influence and the business side? Are you talking about just like straight lyricism and skill?
I feel
in
like
what
you-
they do. You know,
Not to
it's
cut
two
you
different
off.
lists to me.
Not to cut you off, but I feel like he has an asterisk next to his name because of that ghostwriting shit that came out. That's just me. I feel like you can't really put him. He's top 3 right now, but all time, I feel like you can't put him up there because of that ghostwriting shit with Meek Mill and all that shit. So
But if
that's
you bring in numbers in his
numbers,
if you bring in
exactly,
numbers
exactly.
and how much money
You can't- you can't argue.
you can't really argue with that. He's been on top for a long time, so
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, I
Then
don't.
people also look at that ghostwriting as a business move, though.
a business move.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just also when you get to a certain level, like there's all kind of
Part of
people.
the industry.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. Like,
Everybody has
that's how
help,
it
but
is.
Yeah.
the shit that it was just
Like there's so many people behind the scenes that people don't know that make money off of these songs. Like it ain't just the artists and there's a lot of writers, executive producers and stuff like that get a little bit of that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of behind the scenes people. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that go on that people don't really
that really people don't know. If you're not in the music industry, you're not gonna know.
know.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So
Business, man, like you said, man, business
Yeah.
can be cutthroat. You know, so
you can take one, B.
No.
Let me read this article. So, although he may have just racked up another #1 album on the Billboard charts, Drake has also earned another lawsuit for allegedly stealing the beats for 2 of his biggest hits. And I feel like I want to say this too. That's on the producer. That's not on Drake. That's on the producer of the fucking song. Drake didn't steal the beats. If anybody stole the beats, it's the producer. But
Yeah,
I'll
but
read
when
this.
you register a song to get paid for it, like through like ASCAP
Mm-hmm.
or like BMI,
Mhm.
they do like this thing to where like it's published in your name, and that's how you get the money from it. They monitor like TV, radio, all that kind of stuff, and they make sure they're the ones that send you the check. Like
Right.
if you had a song on a movie or you get play on the radio stations, they're the ones that send you your money because you have an agreement with them.
Okay.
So they go get the money for the publishing rights that you got. So it's probably in his name.
Yeah, I'm
So that's
pretty
who
sure
they
it
have
is.
to go after
Yeah.
for,
And it says, also reported by TMZ, Drizzy is in some serious legal hot water and could end up costing him millions. Drake and the New Orleans bounce artist Big Frida, who was also featured on In My Feelings, are both being sued by Samuel Nicholas III, aka Sam Scully. Because his claims to the song is a blatant ripoff of one of his beats, he additionally alleges that Drake also did the same thing and stole his beat that it would eventually become Nice for What. Court documents reportedly state that Scully claims Drake and Big Frida sampled a portion of his 2000 track Roll Call, but they never asked for the rights. So we'll see what happens with that, but I just wanted to say that. So I don't know. I never heard what's the guy's name? Sam Scully, whatever his name is. I never heard any of his songs. I don't know. But this shit happens a lot in the music industry. So we'll see what happens with that, and we'll talk about it when it happens again. Drake released his Money in the Grave video with Rick Ross. I don't like that song. You like that song, Ryan? Money in the Grave?
I like the other one better.
Murder?
Murder, Gold Roses on Rick Ross album.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
I like that.
I like Money in the Grave.
Yeah, you did say it. Yeah, I don't like Money in the Grave.
I ain't see
He don't fuck with Drake, so I can't.
I ain't heard it yet.
But he released a video, and there's a picture right here. I'm sure it is a picture from the video. The score, I'm guessing Drake is in his mansion because he has a basketball court in his mansion. The score is 9-6, so people think that something's gonna drop September 6th next week because it's on a Friday. So people speculating that Drake is about to drop something next week. Ain't no fucking telling. But I just want to say that Money in the Grave video is out now. So if he does drop anything, I don't think it'll be an album. What y'all talking about?
That Drake shit.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see. That's next Friday. It's my baby's birthday too, so I got something big coming for my baby. Yeah, it's her birthday. Baby.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah, this nigga said congratulations. Congratulations on my girl's birthday. This nigga, that's funny. But so yeah, and then also it's being reported. Funk Flex just said a couple hours ago. He said tonight 7 p.m. new Pusha T. So it looks like Pusha T is dropping some tonight. Of course, Pusha T and Drake.
Wait to hear it.
Yeah, Pusha T and Drake had their whole little beef. But what I was telling y'all, so Joe Budden, he had a pool party the other day, and while he was on IG Live, Drake was commenting on his IG Live, and Drake, one of his comments was saying, he was just talking shit to Joe. He was like, it looks like it's like, yeah, he was like, it looks like it's like 67 people there. Why y'all going crazy? Said all type of dumb shit, just trolling this nigga. But one thing he did say, he said, yo, play the story of Adidon right now and see if it rings off. I promise there's only one person that's going to know the words. And the story of Adidon is, of course, Pusha T's diss track to Drake. So people are speculating that Pusha T's song tonight is about to be to Drake because what Drake just said on Joe's IG Live. So we'll see what happens with that. There's no telling that's 100% true, but apparently Pusha T is coming out with new music. Do you fuck with Pusha T, Chris?
I don't listen to Pusha T.
You don't listen to Pusha T?
Hey, I'm a musician, so I listen to like all kind of different music. So
Yeah, I feel you.
I mean, not to say that you guys don't, but there's a lot of things where I just dropped off, listen to a lot of underground stuff, and like
there's nothing wrong with it.
Just different styles of music. So
yeah.
There's a lot of people I haven't heard. So
right, yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see if I'm pretty sure it's just a song for Pusha T, but if he comes,
kind of irrelevant now. Kind of the subject matter is kind of irrelevant now. I don't know why he dropped a song about Drake. If it is,
but Drake just said that shit though.
It's just they doing too much, man. You know what I mean?
Hey man, but we'll see what happens. I would be interested to see it again because I feel like Drake lost the first time when they went at each other.
He did.
He did lose.
Yeah, he did.
This is okay. So it's around the room. Everybody agrees that Drake lost that beef. But what else we got? Top mixtapes all time. So did we talk about that last week on the podcast?
We're talking about top mixtapes.
We didn't talk. I think we talked about it off air. Me and Ryan. Okay. All right. So we don't have nothing. We just freestyling this shit. So it was because it was a top because when that list shit came out with the top 50 rappers of all time. It was there was a list going around of the top 25.
okay.
It was a list of the top 25 most downloaded mixtapes all time, which me and Ryan was like, oh, we should have a discussion about the top mixtapes of all time. So I think instead of 25, we'll do top 5. So Ryan, what's your top 5 mixtapes of all time, bro?
Damn. Well, shit, that's tough. I definitely say Dedication 2.
Well, you starting at 5 or 1?
Shit. I don't got
Just
the
any
top
order?
five.
Just any order? Okay.
Any order. Dedication 2. Shit. Cushion Orange Juice.
I haven't heard every mixtape, so it's hard to say. Yeah, Cushion Orange is up there. Dedication. We'll just say top 5 favorite mixtapes. How about that? Because it's hard. Because we haven't heard every mixtape.
We'll be here forever trying to put
We don't listen to everybody.
It's still tough, but shit. I mean, shit, I got a lot of them.
You said Dedication 2.
I like Migos shit. When they mixtape, they first came out.
So who'd you say? Dedication 2, Cushion Orange Juice. What else? Migos shit. Which one? Which Migos?
I say Future. 56 Nights.
Okay, that's 4.
I put Beast Mode in that shit.
Okay, that's 4.
Monster.
So you got 2 feature mixtapes in there.
Rain.
What about
I put all
Cole?
them shit. Oh yeah. Nah, real shit. I put one of Futures in there, but I definitely put Friday Night Lights in there.
This nigga, I don't like Friday Night
Friday Night
Lights.
Lights.
To me, for anybody that listens to J. Cole,
Then it's the warm up.
I like the warm up more than Friday Night Lights. That's just me. But I'm trying to think.
Friday Night Lights was that shit.
I'm trying to think 5 mixtapes. Cushion Orange Juice is up there, top 5. The warm up's in there, top 5. Dedication 2 is in there, and No Ceilings is in there in my top 5 all time.
Yeah.
So that's 4. Is that a garage? Damn, but it's all good. Let me say one more, and I'm gonna pause it for a second. One more. Kendrick. I don't like Kendrick's mixtapes.
Yeah, look.
No, not top 5. Rich Forever, maybe. Rich Forever, maybe. That's a solid
Over
5.
Section 80?
Oh, I don't know.
Come on.
We'll get back to it. 'Cause I gotta pause for a second. We'll have to pause for a second. We'll get back to it. All right, we back. Had to take a quick little break. Need to take this shot. You ready, bro? We talking about top 25 mates. This nigga don't even have no more in there. Shit, fuck it. You got a little something in there. Shit, this nigga. I don't even remember what I said for the top 5. I said No Ceilings, Dedication to Cushion Orange Juice,
Orange juice.
Rich Forever, and I'll say The Warm Up.
Rich Forever. And
Maybe you could put nigga.
a lot of them you put in there before Rich Forever, dog.
You listen to mixtapes and shit like that,
And
Chris?
I don't know as many as like y'all. Like that's a little
Yeah.
kind
So-
of
so-
big.
So who are your top 5 artists that you listen to? Your top 5 favorite artists, and then I'll
Artists
ask
like any genre or hip hop. We're talking hip hop.
let's say hip hop. Top 5 favorite. Say most
probably.
Def.
If I had to rank them, and again, it's my own opinion, I'd say obviously Most Def to me is at the top. Also, Fonte's up in there for me because I have like an old soul.
Where was he from?
He's from North Carolina. He's in Little
Okay.
Brother. Like they actually just released.
Oh
an
yeah,
album
yeah.
this-
I heard
this
about
last
that.
week,
I heard
actually.
about that. Okay.
Check them out. But they're associated with Ninth Wonder. He's like one of my favorite producers.
Right, yeah.
But,
Mhm.
I just like the way he always samples soul and everything like that. But I like the way Fonte gets down. You know, I like his content, his lyrical. But it's like it's more. I guess now y'all would say old school.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
what
not
people
old school to me,
classify
but
it.
I guess that's
Yeah.
how it is now. But you know, who else? Another dude that nobody talks about. This like I never heard anybody say this dude. His name is Zach De La Roca. He's a dude from Rage Against the Machine. Like y'all probably
Okay.
it's a
Yeah,
totally
I never
different
heard it.
genre of music, but like dudes back in like the '90s and into the early 2000s. I mean, it started in the '80s with Run DMC, but like rap into rock music. You know what I'm saying? But like he held it down like nobody, and his content was heavy because they were like big time political driven band. So they're like, you know, they're wild. Like check him out. Like nobody's like him though. Like he
Okay.
owns that. If it's playing, somebody's playing rock music and somebody's spitting, like he owns the whole genre. To me,
Yeah.
there's dudes that came after him like Fred Durst and people like that, but they were on a different tip. They're nothing like him.
You're right.
you
Okay.
know. But
So that's 3.
let's see who else. I mean,
So you ain't fuck with Pacs and Biggies and Jay. You ain't-
oh no. See, I love them. See, they're huge. See, I mean, like influence wise, like I love Tupac. Like he was. I mean, I had his poster in my locker when I was in like 8th grade. When he died, I cried and shit. You know. What I mean?
Oh,
Like,
okay, yeah.
Above the Rim was like my shit growing up. Like the soundtrack to that, all that. Like Tupac, he was huge in the when I first started listening to like hip hop. When I was a kid. But Biggie, like I like Biggie I think he's a better lyricist than Tupac.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, lyrics.
I think
I don't
Tupac.
I see what you're saying. I know
Tupac
what you're
has a
saying.
bigger like persona,
Yeah.
and he's like has a more powerful
Message and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because to me, Tupac
because he
is
goes
the,
both ways.
He's
though.
the realest rapper of all time to me. He's the realest.
Yeah, because his family's from some like militant
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. Like people don't know that. Like you know, Asada Shakur, that's like his step aunt.
Yeah.
You know, she's like a big part of like Black history and like Black Panther stuff like that. So like he's from that stock, you know what I mean? But also he went to like an arts high school, so he has like
Yeah.
because that's how it is. Like one song will be Hit 'Em Up, and then the next song will be like Dear Mama and shit. You know, you know what I mean? Like he covers it all. Like you know.
Yeah. But you're saying that Biggie's a better lyricist. How?
I think
what
Biggie's
way?
a better lyricist, but you know,
Are you saying like bar for bar, or you mean like?
yeah, I just
Yeah, Biggie, because
I think
he's
his
a
word. I think his
Biggie's
wordplay.
he's a better pure rapper than
Yeah.
Tupac.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
wordplay is more impressive to me, but what can't be denied about Tupac is that like, you know, he worked harder than all these dudes. Like he'd record 5 tracks in a night where these other dudes would do like 1 track in a day.
Yeah.
Like
Came
but
out of
then
jail. He
yeah.
came straight out of jail. Went straight to the studio.
Yeah,
when
he
came out
didn't
of
care.
jail.
So like he worked like nobody else worked. So like, and his influence that he had on generations that came after him, like that's really hard to argue against.
Yeah.
But I don't like he's definitely like I wouldn't say he's not top 5. I'm not gonna argue with that. Or if somebody says they think he's the greatest, I'm not gonna argue with that either. I'm really not gonna argue with anybody's opinion.
Yeah,
Because
it's
it's how you
opinion.
feel and what
Yeah.
touches you. That's
Exactly.
all. All in all, that's what it is. But
I feel you.
yeah, Biggie. I mean, I love Common too. Because Common, nobody's like him. I like originality because back in the day, like that's how it was. Like, you know, you want to bite somebody else's flow. Like, nobody sounded like Wu-Tang. You know what I mean? Like, nobody sounded like Tupac. I mean, dudes came later and kind of ripped it off a little bit, but You know, the Ja Rules who came later, and
I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard somebody say that it was a crime to sound like somebody else back then. Like you
it
were,
was
yeah.
like that's just how it was, man. But now, like, I mean, it's a business, so like the business evolves, and like things that factor in is like music being available on the internet. So that changed everything. 'Cause back in the day, like you had to go get the CD, or you had to go get the tape, or you had to hope it came on the radio. But a lot of hip hop, it's not cool like it is now. Like there's people make parody songs about hip hop and stuff. Like back in the day, that was like, you know, they call it, oh, you speaking Ebonics. They get all mad about that and want you to speak proper and you know all that. Like it was frowned upon to act that way, but now it's cool.
Yeah.
Because eventually it grew on society. You know, it's just people using slang words all the time on different levels. Like it wasn't like that in the early '90s. It was a big thing against it because everything was, if they rapped, it was gangster rap automatically.
Right. Yeah.
You know, that's how it was back in the day. But
Yeah, that's true. There's a question I saw the other day I wanted to ask y'all. It says, would you stop listening to rap for the rest of your life for $10 million?
Yep.
for $10 million,
I already know Ryan would say yeah.
I mean, who's to say how they gonna find out if I start listening to it again?
Just hypothetically speaking, just saying you can never listen to rap again for $10 million. You could never listen to rap again, hypothetically speaking. $10 million.
You just can't listen to somebody rapping.
Yeah, but like you can't
If
listen
I
to
could
rap
just
music.
listen, I listen to so much different type of music. I'll just
I gotta break the shit down for this
you know?
nigga.
He tried by
You can never listen to rap music, headphones, car, albums. You can't listen to no rap music for the rest of your life for $10 million.
Man, I don't know.
Yes or no? Would you do it? This nigga's like, I don't know. Would you do it, Brandon? We'll get back to you. Would you do it, Brandon?
$10 million. Yeah, I stop. $10 million.
That's hard, bro.
Shit, I can make $20 million if
I'd have to.
Somebody giving you
Yeah.
$10 million.
I'd have to.
stop
I'd have to.
Yeah,
listening to
you'd be a fool. I listen to a lot of different type of music, so
I'd have
I
to.
can
Something
supplement
you
it, and I would just
want
listen to the beats,
Yeah, I'd have to. I'd have to. So yeah, I agree. I say the same thing.
or just start listening to it again. How they gonna know? I already
Yeah.
got the money. So
Yeah, we on 36. So we good. That's all we got for music. So we gonna get into sports. So my nigga Chris is here. We fit. Brandon knows some shit about sports too. Brandon surprised you every now and again. So the first thing, the most important news. One more before we get to sports. I want to say this. Another RIP is going out to Buddy of them Franchise Boys. He passed away after his battle with cancer. So I want to say RIP, condolences to his friends and family. Buddy of them Franchise Boys, he is passed away. I didn't see his age, but I don't think he probably wasn't even past 45, honestly.
Cancer is a deadly thing, man.
Yeah, so I want to say RIP. Like I said, we fucking give RIP. We literally have given one probably every episode.
People
So
won't stop dying, man.
that shit's fucked up, dog. So I wanted to say that. So back to sports. The most important news in the sports world, obviously, yesterday Andrew Luck informed the Indianapolis Colts that he is retiring from the NFL. Of course, he had a looming shoulder injury. He did a press conference. He was actually on the field, and during the Colts preseason game, he was actually on the sideline while this happened. He was walking back to the tunnel when the game was over, and he was booed by the Indianapolis fans because the game was at home. And I mean, I could say that it's fucked up that he did that 2 weeks before the season, but it's that man's life. He can make whatever decision he wants to make. He said in the post game, the conference, of course, he had to talk about it. He said that he was hurt by the fans booing him, and he said he was still in pain. So he's still hurting, and of course, he's thinking about his health more than anything before football. So what y'all think about that?
I feel like you made the right decision. You know.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, he just you know, shit. That's the price you pay. You know, being a fucking quarterback in the NFL. That's like what they say is 32 of the hardest jobs in the world, right there.
Yeah.
It's like it's only 32 positions, 32 spots for it. So he did that shit, you know. And
Yeah, as a starting
then
quarterback.
you gotta think about that nigga played for like 7 years. That's a long time.
Really 6 because he missed a year, so he really only played 6
He
years.
got paid for 7.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He got that $28 million coming home too.
Yeah.
Hey man, if you going through 4 straight seasons with pain and all that shit, you gotta make this best decision for you. You know,
Yeah.
some niggas might just say fuck it, I'm gonna keep going, but he decided, you know, he got a life after football. He got other things he want to pursue.
Yeah.
So he took the smart way out and just like Barry Sanders did.
Yeah,
So,
Barry
yeah.
Sanders, Patrick Willis. Who else retired early? Rob Gronkowski retired this year. Was it this year or last year? Yeah. Rob Gronkowski. What do you think about that, Chris?
I think, you know, ultimately it's his decision on what he wants to deal with, so you can't make him do anything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure the fans would have wanted him to say something before they got this because the season's about to start, so it's
Yeah.
like now they're stuck with somebody they probably don't really want to start.
Yeah,
But
Jacoby
none of that
Brissett.
really matters because at the end of the day, he's the one that has to get out on the field and take that punishment.
That's true.
You know, that ain't, man, talk about not easy. Yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with that. So
Yeah, and there's some big motherfuckers out there hitting you too. So
Yeah, you
yeah,
know?
definitely.
So
The thing, but then he played what the whole playoffs with lacerated spleens, pissing blood for weeks.
Yeah. What you
That's
think?
crazy,
What you
man.
think, B?
I think he made the right decision, man. He made the big decision.
Somebody got to say he made the wrong decision. Goddamn, we all.
He
Nah, I'm
made the
joking.
right
I'm joking.
yeah,
I'm joking.
He walked away from the money, decided what's best for him. I think one of the reasons they said too, he's having another daughter or something like that too, didn't he?
I don't know. Maybe he is. I don't know. I didn't see that, but he probably is.
But yeah, he walked away. You know, if you're gonna have that many injuries and keep playing with that and keep playing up with it, like, why are you gonna do that to yourself?
Yeah, nobody can tell you what to do with your life. So I mean, it's fucked up that he did it 2 weeks before the season start.
It is
But
fucked up that he did that, but the fans also gotta realize that even though they hurt, you know, he's hurting. You know, he does want. I'm pretty sure he don't want to disappoint them. So
yeah. Yeah, number 1 pick in the 2012 draft. So I want to say good luck to Andrew Luck in the future. His wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, he went to Twitter. He put a message out for Andrew Luck. He said, "Every time I think about it, tears start to flow. No one understands you like I do. Our bond is one of a kind. I've dedicated to dedicate my season to my best friend. I love number 12, Luck to Hilton." So. T.Y. Hilton's obviously expressed his emotion over Andrew Luck, and as you said, Ryan, Andrew Luck is owed $24.8 million back to the Colts, but they're not going to take it back. They reached a financial settlement with Andrew Luck, and they have agreed to not take any of the money back that they have the rights to claim. So that's actually pretty good. I feel like if it was a black nigga, they would take it back, but
I think he was willing.
yeah, Calvin Johnson, exactly.
But he was willing to give back the money too. They said that. I think they reported that too. He was willing to give it back.
Yeah, but you feel the same way? I feel like if it was a black nigga, they would have took it back. To me.
Just Calvin
I
Johnson.
mean, yeah.
But that's a different organization, though. That's the Detroit Lions.
Still though,
I don't know. That's just my
Great at his
opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and they had two of the
Andrew
greatest
Luck.
position players of all time just retire on him early. Barry
Yeah.
Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
Damn, I didn't even
He
think
was
They
about it.
messed up Barry's
Calvin was
career.
greater at his position
Like-
than Andrew Luck was in his.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Barry Sanders was greater than all of them niggas. So,
Exactly.
but yeah, I didn't even think about that. They had
Yeah.
2 niggas retire early.
Messed
I
up
never
their whole
never
career.
thought about
Never
that.
got that man any help.
Damn.
Never
Yeah,
got
they're
that.
Barry Sanders, hell yeah. So like I said, want to wish Andrew Luck the best going forward. Next, we got the LA Lakers. They reached a agreement with center Dwight Howard. He finalized a buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies. Ryan said he don't want to talk about this bullshit. This nigga hate Dwight Howard. But I wanted to talk about it with Chris because he is a LeBron fan, so he's riding for the Lakers. So Dwight Howard, Boogie Cousins, of course, went down to injury. So what you think about the Dwight signing?
Yeah, they had to choose from like Joakim Noah and I can't remember who the other choices were, but like for what they need him to do, he don't have to play a whole bunch of minutes. He just needs to play because JaVale McGee can't play the whole game because he has like asthma and stuff like that. So
Okay.
he's never good for like 30 something minutes a game. He's like in 20, 25
Yeah.
maybe. So you get Dwight Howard, he can cover a lot of things like the rebounding and protecting the rim. So they got a big front line, but can he stay healthy because he's always getting hurt? So
Yeah, and he's got a non-guaranteed contract. I think they could let him go before like April 7th.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that was a stipulation they put in there, like, show us what you can do,
Yeah.
nigga. Because your contract's not guaranteed. We can let you go before this time.
For
So
real,
show
like,
us what you can do.
I guess he had a really good workout though. Like they were
Yeah, he
like
probably did.
impressed by it. So he's always been a real athletic dude. Like if he ever would have developed his offensive game, I feel he could have been an all-time great. Like he has the physical stature for it and everything like that, but he just never like really developed his skills.
All right, yeah.
He was good in Orlando when you're surrounded with all the shooters. You know, he played the
Yeah.
inside-out game, so that was good for him. But he doesn't have to have a big role, like, and he knows that. Like, he's got to know because he's just been bouncing from team to team.
Right.
He's getting hurt, so he's got to know that, like, okay, well, you got to just fall in line. Like, nothing's going through you on offense. Like, you
Yeah.
might get a tip in here and there, alley-oop, but you're just getting the boards and kicking it back out. Like, but we have some shooters, so, you know,
Yeah.
that'll help. But
Nigga got the door open in the fucking bathroom. This nigga here.
no, I think it'll be good. Like losing Boogie was, but we didn't know what we was gonna get out of him either. We were just hoping. Like it's kind of the same thing with Dwight, but you know they'll have people that can score. They just need his paint presence and and that rebounding, that's gonna be big for him. But
Yeah. So do you think that the Boogie injury hurts the Lakers' chances of a title? This
no,
year?
because he wasn't playing a huge role. He was playing a good role, but it's not like he was gonna play 35 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
Bruh,
JaVale-
hey, hold up, bruh. Come sit down. You can hear everything you doing on the mic, nigga. You can hear the bathroom, all that shit. This nigga. But close the door when you watch it. Oh, this nigga. Well, I heard that shit, so I guess. But yeah, so I mean.
No one close.
But yeah, you're right. That doesn't hurt. I feel like it doesn't hurt their chances either. But I feel like Boogie was gonna come with something to prove this year. To me, he was finna.
I mean, but Dwight Howard's still got to be hungry too because he hasn't proved anything his whole career. I mean, other than he won Defensive Player of the Year 3 years in a row, which is like he's going to the Hall of Fame for that alone to me. But he, other than that, he hasn't really come through. He made it to the finals in 2009, lost to Kobe. That's gonna happen. So okay, but you know he's got to be hungry too because he's got a bad reputation.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously Boogie, you know, got out because he missed out on his money. That's what sucks for him. Like Isaiah Thomas, like
we was talking about that
to get
last
his
week.
money, and then he got close, and then man, just injuries got him. And I hate to see people go out like that. You know, like I didn't want to see the Warriors lose like that to injuries.
Yeah,
that's
you know
true.
What I mean,
yeah,
but they lost, and that's what it is. I ain't sad about it now.
Yeah, I seen he just got married too, DeMarcus Cousins. He just got married,
Okay.
so yeah, congrats to DeMarcus Cousins. But they had a picture. He wasn't in crutches or nothing.
Yeah,
he probably had that surgery like next day type shit.
But you still can't. What, he had an ACL?
Yeah, but they say you can still walk on it, but it's just torn.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Lakers. So you feel like they're favorite to come out the West, Chris?
I mean, you're asking me like anytime LeBron James is on the team, I'm thinking they're going all the way. So that's just I'm a serious fan like that. So, but I mean, it's probably the most parity the NBA has maybe ever had to me in the history because like people always super teams this. I'm like, you look at the history of the NBA, that's all that was. Yeah. It's not like every year there's like 10 teams that can win the championship. There's always like 4 or 5. 5's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
You know
You're
what
right.
I'm saying?
You're right.
Like,
it is a lot. Yeah.
So there's always like you pretty much know who's gonna do it. If you go out and look at the history books through them decades, like who was in and out of it, like it's kind of always the same teams.
Yeah.
But now it's like everybody's got about 2 superstars. So
yeah, it's gonna be the most exciting year in a long time.
Yeah,
definitely.
It's wide open.
Yeah, it is. And one more thing I want to say. Well, 2 more things I think we got. Well, I got a couple more things I want to talk to Chris about something. But I want to say I want to talk about Lamar Miller of the Houston Texans. He was injured in the game versus the Dallas Cowboys. It was actually the first drive of the preseason game, Texans versus Dallas Cowboys. He is out for the season. He was carted off the field with an ACL injury on the first drive. What?
I didn't know it was the first preseason game. That shit happened.
No, the first drive. It was the first drive of the game.
Damn.
Yeah, it was the first drive of the game. But you had something you wanted to say about that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't know it was that early. I thought it had been happening.
What?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. No. This shit just happened. This shit, I think it was like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lamar Miller, he's out for the season, running back for the Houston Texans. So we wish him a speedy recovery. So you sure you don't want to talk about that?
Yeah, they just went and signed Duke Johnson from the Browns.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so he's gonna be probably start running back now.
Started running back out there now.
Yeah. So I wanted to show Chris this picture. The next thing we're gonna talk about. I don't know if you've seen this already. So this is a question that I think SportsCenter posted. And I seen this like 2 weeks ago, and I saved this for when you came on here because I want to talk about it with you. It said, which team will win in the best of 7 series? So the first team is AI. I'm gonna let you hold it too. AI, D Wade, Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. That's the first team.
Okay.
AI, D Wade, and let's just say let's just say everybody's in their prime.
All right.
AI, D Wade, Michael Jordan, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant. Team 1. Team 2, James Harden, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Tracy McGrady, Kevin Garnett. And here it is. I'm going to hand it to you. So who's winning the best of 7 series? Me, in my opinion, I'm saying Team 1 with AI, D Wade, Michael Jordan. That's my opinion. What'd you say, Ryan?
I'm going to say Team 2.
You say the team with LeBron?
I say Team 2.
You say Team LeBron?
LeBron and Kobe.
What you say, Brandon, over there?
Said Team 1.
AI? And then what you think? This nigga Chris really looking at this shit.
Yeah, because you got to think about the matchups.
Exactly.
You said Jordan Prime?
Jordan's prime.
Jordan.
Jordan's
plus
on
prime
team.
D Wade. Plus prime Kawhi.
Plus prime KD and AI.
Yeah. Like,
With
that's a
LeBron,
squad.
with who? LeBron, Kobe, James
Prime
Harden.
Kobe, prime LeBron though.
James Harden is
Prime James Harden, like he's the one where I'm like he can get
Exactly.
points, but like you got Kobe. You
got Kobe the same
You got
day,
LeBron
and
out
you
there.
got LeBron,
You don't
so
need James Harden
You
out there,
don't.
dude.
That's
So
what I'm saying. You don't.
Okay.
That's why I say
So
it's a team too.
that's like
You
but
know
KG.
now.
KG's all up in KD's head.
Prime KG.
Prime KG's all up in KD's head.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's
a
what I'm
problem.
telling you,
That's a
bro.
problem.
Okay, let me
Team
see it
two,
again.
team
Let me see
two,
it.
dog. I'm telling you.
Let me see it again, Chris.
I take my
Okay.
chances with D Wade.
And man,
Who you
like,
saying team 2, Chris? You say team
LeBron on team 2, so you know I'm going with team 2.
Say, I know, that's what
so
I'm talking
like, but team 1 is
Team
Okay.
one's Eastern,
squad.
but
Yeah, that's a squad.
Okay, so if you look at each matchup, AI versus James Harden, who's winning that?
they both in the
They
score,
both
bro.
kicking each
Who's
other.
winning?
They both
Who's-
ain't. But
Who's winning? Who's winning?
Harden, bro. Harden's a way better shooter than 3-point. The AI was. What you mean, bro?
yeah, but
yeah, bro.
but I will say, man. But
Don't
you
get me
gonna-
wrong, AI gonna get his, but Harden's gonna step back every time and bust at least 3-4 straight before you even miss.
So AI ain't finna get it. James Harden didn't even play defense. So
He
who-
don't, bro. But three is more than 2. He gonna bust some 3.
Yeah, but he also goes through these crazy cold spells. If you got Allen Iverson in his prime, he can shoot, but
Okay.
he's also
He
slash
can.
into that rim.
He can.
And
Okay.
KD's the 5.
against KG.
No,
Hold
Wait,
up.
oh,
I'm
KG
going. Hold up. I'm
KG's
going.
the
I'm going.
five?
I'm
Like,
going to
KG
each matchup.
Man.
I'm going to each matchup first.
so
Okay.
what?
So one,
First match-
I'm saying that's a tie. I'm not even. I can't
Tie.
say that's a tie. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna pick one over the other. Okay. D Wade versus Kobe. I'm taking Kobe.
Of course.
I'm taking Kobe.
Yeah,
You agree?
Say it one
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
I'm taking Kobe.
Here we go.
Okay. LeBron and Mike.
I'm
taking LeBron, but like they can't like.
LeBron.
I think that's
LeBron's
a tie.
gonna have a hard time
I
guarding
think that's.
Jordan for sure.
You can't just
But
say.
Jordan
You
ain't-
can't just say. You can't just give an answer to that one.
Yeah,
You can't just give it to me. So I'm saying that's a tie to me.
yeah.
Kawhi, Tracy McGrady, Kawhi. Kawhi's winning that, and Kawhi's on team 1.
No, T-Mac
Because
was
with
dog.
but that's the thing with
Kawhi
T1's
is winning that
with
matchup.
T1's lineup, right? With them, they don't need Kawhi to score. If they're like lock down Tracy McGrady, make sure he doesn't do anything because that's his bread and butter. He's not a great defender, so he's a great scorer. So Kawhi,
Who is winning that
Kawhi's
matchup?
winning that matchup.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it's 1-1 with 2 ties to me, because LeBron, you got the LeBron Michael and you got the AI Harden. Okay, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett.
That's the thing. Is like KD can shoot over KG, but KG can get
get
all
it.
up inside
Bro.
KD's head.
But Kevin Durant's gonna fucking score more than Kevin Garnett's gonna score.
We don't need KG
But
to
KG
score.
don't
We
need to
just
score.
him to get his
You
head
just
because
need-
you know
yeah.
what? We
And
got
them rebounds.
Kobe and LeBron. We straight.
All right, so yeah.
And Kate, that's the thing is like for
And Harden.
somebody gets past you, your help protection at the rim. I'm taking KG
And like
over
you said, if
KD
niggas try to
all day.
Be on some double team on some LeBron shit or whoever. You already see who opening the quarter.
Who?
That left hand nigga. James Harden.
Oh,
He right there, bro.
This nigga, I guess.
Right there.
But that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
That whole team thing, yeah, that's a good matchup. So
That's a good
Yeah, I'll
matchup.
say team 2. I say team 1. So what else we got? Okay, so me and Ryan was having this conversation last night. Chris, we gonna talk about this and one more thing. Well, how did it come up, nigga? I don't even remember how it came up, but we was thinking, dog, LeBron might have played with the biggest names more than he might have played with the most big names any other player has
He's played
played.
with a lot of big names, but
Regardless-
what point in their career did he play with
That's
them?
what I
That's
said.
what we're talking about.
Yeah,
we're talking about
that's
that. A
what
lot of
he-
niggas he got towards the end of their career. Ray
If they
Allen.
weren't at the end of their career washed up or hurt, they wouldn't even been trying to play with LeBron anyway.
Yeah,
And the
D
reason
Rose would have never left Chicago.
exactly.
the reason I bring this up is because I know how you feel, because we've had the debate about Michael Jordan versus LeBron off air, me and Chris. I know how you feel about Jordan. Of course, that's a good argument. LeBron has played with some of the biggest names.
Yeah.
He played with Shaq. This nigga played with Ray Allen. This nigga's playing with AD this year. This nigga's finna play with Dwight Howard.
Yep.
I was telling Ryan, if you told somebody 5 years ago that LeBron's gonna play with Derrick Rose, Dwight Howard, they would have said you was crazy. And
Yeah,
Rajon
right.
Rondo.
Yeah.
They would have been like, nigga. They would have been like, nigga, no way.
Yeah.
No way.
He played with that nigga.
What you think about that? Do you
I mean,
agree?
that's I agree. Like you can't.
Okay.
The facts are the facts, but like I said, where are they at? It's
Yeah.
not like he didn't even get
If you-
06 D Wade.
If 5
You know
years
what I'm
ago,
saying? Like,
yeah,
come
you're
on
right.
now, like-
if 5 years ago you would have told somebody that, you would believe that LeBron would have 7 rings by now. If they would have told you those names back then, you would believe that LeBron would have
Yeah,
7
maybe go
rings.
back a little further.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A little
What was
further
5
than
years
that,
ago?
but yeah.
2014? Yeah, maybe a
10
little
years.
further than that. Yeah,
So,
10 years
10
ago.
years ago. But you know, like, okay, he's getting Dwight at the end, who's just coming. He's a journeyman at this point. Okay, he played with Shaq. That was the end of Shaq. Shaq had already given his last little bit. He gave it to Miami, and then he gave it to Phoenix.
Wait, he
You know
had
what I'm saying?
Wade, he had Bosh, he had Ray Allen. Ray Allen
but
arguably gave him a ring.
Okay, so Chris Bosh is an all-time great player, and there's no argument against that. But he doesn't go to Miami. He first ballot Hall of Fame?
No.
I don't know.
Probably no.
Kevin Love was playing great.
Kevin Love.
But that-
Kyrie's
but that
a name.
pressure- Kyrie,
Kevin-
yeah. Kyrie, I'm gonna give you Kyrie all day. Kyrie's great. D Wade's great, but he didn't play with the best version of D Wade.
He did the first 2 years in
No,
Miami.
the first year I give him. The second year he started breaking.
He
broke
still
down.
averaged over 20 in the second year.
He still averaged over 20, but he still started breaking down. The knees was breaking down. Like he was.
Yeah,
starting
but
to
it was
sit
still.
out.
But
He
it's D
sat out a lot
Wade.
of
But it's
games.
D Wade, Chris.
He sat out a lot of games.
But it's D Wade.
I know it's D Wade, but he sat out some games, man. Like he started. I mean, he wasn't at his physical peak. Like, you know what I'm saying? His best year was 2006, right?
No, his best year was 2009 when he should have won MVP.
Statistically, yes, but
But he should have won MVP over LeBron.
He could have, but he
couldn't.
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
So that's how that goes. But
You did it. Okay, I just want to
I
see
mean-
if you agree with that he has played with the biggest names.
yeah, but the way they are in their career, you know, all that matters. Like, I mean, people forget. I mean, Michael Jordan played with George Gervin. Nobody knows that because George Gervin was old. Robert Parrish played with him too. Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? Ron Harper is all time great. Like a lot of Jordan's active teammates that were in.
But it's not nowhere near the names that LeBron has played with.
True that. I mean, but you know, again, everybody flip flops on what argument what they want to use because they want to go with the whole ring thing. A lot of these dudes that Jordan played with got rings, and a lot of these other dudes like Derrick Rose ain't got no ring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He ain't got no ring.
AD ain't got a ring. Thank you very much. Kyrie didn't have one before. D Wade is the only teammate that
Marcus
had one
Cousins
before.
didn't have one.
Chris Bosh didn't have one. Kevin Love didn't have one, but a lot of them played with them, and by the end, they had a ring.
So is it necessary for you to have a ring to be considered great?
No,
No, it's not.
no, it's not. But when
But
they
we're
talking
just-
that,
we're just-
but when
we're
they
just
talk
going
about
with-
who's greater than who,
Exactly.
that comes
Jordan
into
sets
it.
the precedent. You know, so
But he doesn't set
I
the
just wanna say
precedent.
something.
He does. Jordan doesn't set the precedent.
Right, you're right.
Bill Russell sets the precedent.
Right. And then another thing.
He's got 11 rings. He won 8 in a row. 8 in
Yeah.
a row. Like, and he went against Wilt Chamberlain, who was dropped. You just looking up his stats. Guess who was beating him? Bill Russell.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just how that went.
All right. And one more thing. This is the last thing on sports I wanted to say. In my opinion, I could see, we was talking about this last night too, me and Ryan. I feel like LeBron can win 4 rings. I feel like he can win one more for sure. I think that's for sure. That can happen. 5, I say maybe. 6, fuck no. He's not winning 6.
You never know what'll happen.
He's not winning 6.
Because I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing you think about with LeBron. Okay, so realistically, playing at the level he's playing at, what he got, he has 2 years max. Like this year will be the year, and then I think like the year after that he'll still be good, but his assists will go up and he won't try to look to score as much. Anthony Davis will probably do more of the scoring. Kuzma will come up, do more of the scoring. Whoever else they might pick up.
Yeah.
But like if he takes a role of like, okay, I don't need to always score, and I'm just because Rondo's going to be on his way out soon too. He ain't gonna be there forever, obviously, and they'll get younger people. But LeBron can, just like Jason Kidd did. You know what I'm saying? Just like John Stockton did. Till you're old, see an offense and run it. Like, and set up people and put them in the right spots to score. He does that. So he could do that later on. So you never know what kind of role he'll play with what kind of team. Because, like, they got Anthony Davis and they got Kyle Kuzma, 2 young pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So who knows who else they're going to get. And
Anthony
they have a lot
Davis
of
is
success.
younger than people think.
And dude,
Yeah.
people sleeping on Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
that nigga's
I get
young.
Paul George had a great year last year, but who are you going to pick if you're trying to start a franchise run? I'm picking
Yeah,
Anthony
Anthony,
Davis.
yeah.
Paul George is great.
Yeah, I agree.
He's great.
I agree.
But-
So how many do you see LeBron winning before it's all said and done? I say
5. I say 5.
I say 4.
Because I don't feel like he's gonna retire as soon as everybody think he is.
No, because he still is like one of the greatest athletes.
I say-
I
I
can see
ever walked
LeBron
the face
playing
of
another
earth.
5 to 6 years.
I say
Yeah, I can see him do
I say
6 to
5
8,
maybe. I said 5 is a
I can
maybe.
see LeBron playing another 6 to 8.
I don't know about
Not
6.
no
I don't know about
eight.
6 to
Not
8, but
I'm
5
gonna say 6
max.
at the max. 6 at the max. I can see LeBron.
I
That
say-
just depends on like if he wins. Like if say they win back to back.
I say 5.
Like that happens. Like
Then he'll have,
he might be like content enough. Like okay, I've done enough. I've played so many years, and then start doing other stuff. He could do that, but
Yeah.
it's really depends on what he really wants. Does he want to get that 6 so people could be quiet? Like even though no matter what, they're never gonna be quiet about it. So
I don't see
know.
him winning 5, dog. I say maybe. I don't see that happening, dog.
in a realistic universe, yeah, maybe he might.
Because
he might
and then
win one
the
more,
Clippers
but-
gonna get him a battle this year, bro. It's not even a set that the fucking Lakers gonna come out the West. It's not even
Yeah,
a
it's
set in
definitely not
stone.
set. It's
Yeah.
definitely not set. But the Lakers have they got what they didn't have last year. they got shooters, they got depth. They didn't have none of that last year. And like they was living on potential of Lonzo Ball, potential of Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and really Josh Hart and Kyle Kuzma fit in with LeBron's game better than any of those other dudes. Like Brandon Ingram didn't fit all the way. Lonzo Ball fit good, but just like you can't have like him and Rondo on the court at the same time. You know, because they do like the same thing and all that. Yeah. So, and I'd rather have Rondo than Lonzo Ball. Like, obviously long term, like maybe Lonzo Ball will be better, but Lonzo Ball does have a good game. Like, there's not a lot of people in the league that have his game.
All right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So I think that's all. Yeah, that's all we got for sports. I want to say one more thing. Next week is gonna be next podcast. Next Tuesday is gonna be right before week 1 of the NFL starts. So I'll give my season predictions for the NFL next Tuesday. That'll happen. So I just want to say that. So that's all we got for sports. So we're gonna move on to what's trending. Then we just hit an hour. It's already been out. So what's trending? We got the first thing, of course. If you haven't heard, I don't know where the fuck you been. Like you said earlier, the fucking Popeyes chicken sandwich. That shit is out. That shit is out now. Yeah, that shit is out right now. Me and Ryan, we had that shit like a week ago. Me personally, that shit was not that good. It was really.
I feel like,
but Pete don't like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a real picky eater. I'll admit that. But just like, I wasn't. That shit was not that good.
It was straight. You know, it was good. You know, it's definitely good. But you know,
people out here losing their minds.
I feel like like people out here acting. I seen a video. Nigga hopped out the car with his girl, jumped through the drive-thru, got beat up. Damn. It's just like, bro, you got back in the car with your girl, you got beat up, and you ain't get no chicken, nigga.
Why you jumped through the drive-thru?
I don't know. I seen this shit.
It's already get beat up.
But, you know.
Have you tried it, Chris? Have you had it yet?
I haven't tried it, but this is all I understand. They already had a chicken sandwich. They had like a po' boy, like a Louisiana thing. So, but it wasn't even like a real po' boy. It was like, all right, but like, you know, like I don't know. They've already had it.
They have had a
Zaxby's is better than Chick-fil-A. You ask me.
Nah.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm saying it right now. I said it, man.
That's a tough
one. Zaxby's is better than Chick-fil-A.
That's a tough one.
Chick-fil-A got these little tiny portions, bro. Like they skimp.
Nah, bro.
I don't think Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is not that good to me.
They waffle fries is the best thing they got.
Chick-fil-A is better than Zaxby's though.
That's a tough one.
No, they not.
That's a tough one. Yes, it is.
No, bro. Chick-fil-A is way better than Zaxby's.
No, it's not,
yes,
bro.
It is, bro.
No, it's not like it's not killing Zaxby's, nigga. No,
yes,
it's not.
The fuck it is.
They don't got the sauce.
I don't think so.
The sauce.
They don't got the sauce. They don't got Zaxby's sauce though.
Nigga, yes they do. What you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Bro,
I don't agree with that.
Wow, bro.
Yeah, what you think? What you think better, Brandon? Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A? Oh man.
Bro, Zaxby's. I forgot about Zaxby's, man.
Zaxby's been quiet. Zaxby's been quiet because fucking Wendy's been going at Popeyes.
Chick-fil-A been going off.
Chick-fil-a. Everybody's been.
It's as big of a chain, obviously.
Zaxby's is pretty good, bro. I'll put it over Chick-fil-A, to be honest.
Yeah, Zaxby's good to me. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't that good to me. I don't know what y'all think about it. So you think the Popeye shit is that good?
It's good, bro, but you know,
it ain't worth
45
it ain't worth
the hassle for it. And you know, just like everything out here, it's gonna die down.
It's gonna die down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's just funny how we see all this shit going on with all this free publicity they giving to all these multi-billion-dollar companies and shit, you know. And you know how niggas be putting out memes and shit. Somebody put one out about black people, how, you know, we can't support each other in our own, you know, businesses and things such as that going on, but we can support a fucking restaurant for a $4 sandwich, you know.
Yeah.
So it puts it into perspective, you know, with how a lot of people think about us, but we bring a lot of that shit on ourselves, you know. But at the same time, you know, everybody should enjoy that shit. It's good, you know, but I just feel like be smart. Like, you see this shit long as fuck, man, just go somewhere else, man. Let that shit die down.
Yeah, because them
it's
lines,
straight. It's
them lines
good.
is crazy.
But
really though, hey, is there a difference
of
of going to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah,
that line is always long.
Bro, Chick-fil-A line.
But they quick though.
Yeah, they
okay,
gonna.
But they line is long as hell.
Bro, that's
every
life.
time.
Shit, niggas want chicken. What you mean? Niggas love chicken.
They just can't go get it from Popeye.
I see the tweet. I
Popeye,
see the shit you was talking about. Somebody tweeted the other day, 4 days ago. He said Popeye's chicken sandwich sold out straight off social media. We have the power to make each other rich, but that's a conversation niggas not ready for. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things have changed. Like, you know, people can make a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
Make a living off of something that 10 years ago, if you told them they was gonna be doing that, they'd be like, there's no way it's gonna happen. But
yeah.
Technology's crazy.
Yeah, but it wasn't that good to me, like I said. And Ryan was just showing me earlier that there was a Boondocks episode that predicted this shit, but I'd never seen the episode, and I'm a fan of the Boondocks, but I've never seen the episode. Yeah, and he just showed me the clip. But yeah, it is.
I feel like I remember that, bro.
It was a newer one. It wasn't like one of the first ones that came out. It was a newer one. That's why I never seen it. Because once Boondocks got kind of the newer episodes came out, I stopped watching it. But
this one is going crazy about that soul food thing.
No, it wasn't that one. That's the one I thought it was. But it wasn't that. It's another one. Them niggas was in the drive-thru. The drive-thru line was long as fuck. What? Somebody jumped through the window. This nigga just showed me that shit. This nigga
just like in real life, the nigga at Popeyes jumped through the drive-thru. Same shit happened in the Boondocks.
Yeah, that shit
predicted that shit.
Yeah. So aside from that, next we got if you haven't seen the Brazil's Amazon rainforest is on fire, and scientists believe that that's going to cause drastic changes to the Earth's climate. It says this is the article. The world's largest rainforest is currently ablaze with no end in sight. Brazil's Amazon rainforest is reportedly burning at the highest rate since the National Institute for Space Research began tracking it in 2013. Now scientists worry this could be a major setback in the fight against climate change. According to CNN, the Amazon is often referred to as the Earth's lungs because it is responsible for the production of 20% of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere. There have been almost 730,000 fires in Brazil this year, with more than half in the Amazon region. The Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest on the planet, measured at almost half of the size of the United States. So, and people don't seem to care about it. I seen somebody saying
care more about Popeye sandwiches than
yeah, and people were bringing up the Notre Dame fire. Somebody said that because I think it was reported. Where is it? Yeah, countries have agreed to immediate $20 million fund to help Amazon countries fight wildfires. Somebody said $1 billion was given to rebuild Notre Dame. $20 million is being given to save the world. Some sad shit, bro. It seemed like nobody cares. It seemed like nobody gives a fuck.
That's people care about what they want to care about.
Yeah.
And these rich motherfuckers don't care about
none of that. They just want to get that money. So
yeah.
We were talking about Jay-Z.
It's a business. The world is a business.
It's all the same thing
about it. Yeah. So.
But guess what? That's gonna be our destruction.
That's gonna be our destruction.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That's true. So next we got there was a shooting at Clark, Atlanta. 4 students were shot at a block party near Clark Atlanta University. Article says we are praying for the students of Clark Atlanta, Spelman, and Morehouse who were at a block party when shots rang out last night. I think this was like a week ago. We initially reported that 2 students had been hit by bullets. That number has now doubled. According to WSB-TV, police found 4 female students who had been hit by bullets and many others were injured. The shooting reportedly happened during a block party near Clark Atlanta's campus around 10:30 p.m. on that Tuesday. So prayers to everybody's family. Anybody that was involved with that is fucked up. We was talking about this shit a couple weeks ago, me and Brandon, about the shootings going on in America. I feel like there's no way to stop it. I mean, you're not going to stop gun control. It's just like, I just don't think you're going to stop it.
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It's not going to happen.
We're not going to do that.
Yeah, so prayers to anybody involved with that.
Also, that stuff happens when a lot of people show up uninvited and shit like that, too. People just come up in there and...
Yeah, people just do dumb shit. Yeah. Here's the story I want to talk about. Says Oregon police altered a man's mugshot to remove face tattoos after witnesses to a bank robbery said the suspect didn't have any. So that's a picture. So Oregon police, there was a guy, he had tattoos in his mugshot. The police in Oregon took the tattoos off his face because witnesses saying that the bank robbery suspect didn't have any tattoos. So they altered a man's photo to meet the subscription. Yeah. Says the attorney for Oregon man who was working to get his client's case tossed after it was discovered that police reportedly used Photoshop to remove his face tattoos so that he could be identified in a police lineup. Tyrone Lamont Allen is being accused in a string of bank and credit union robberies despite none of the tellers saying they saw tattoos on the face of the man who robbed them. What's it say? Oh, damn, the police officer said it. Wait, it says, I basically painted over the tattoos, police forensic criminalist Mark Weber testified. Almost like applying electronic makeup. Police then presented the altered image of Allen along with the photos of 5 similar-looking men to the teller so that they can identify him as a suspect. So I guess the police told the truth and all that. That's fucked up, bro. That's dumb. That's crazy
though. Like,
that's crazy, bro.
That's like, can you do that?
No,
I guess you can. So.
I don't see any more details about it. I mean, but that's fucked up. I mean, he testified, so I'm guessing he's gonna go to jail for that.
Yeah,
he's testified.
I mean, man, like.
That's fucked up.
That's going above me. If you got to go that far.
Hey man,
You shouldn't have to do none of that, right? It
it's
should
the
be-
country we live in, bro.
Yeah.
It's the country we live in, dog. And we got 2 more things for what's trending. Brandon's gonna bring up something. I got one more story. Says USDA study says washing or rinsing raw chicken puts you at risk for illness. We all know the number 1 rule is preparing chicken to wash it. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, however, doesn't seem to agree. According to a new report, the USDA insists that washing or rinsing raw chicken puts people at risk of illness. The USDA's Deputy of Food and Safety, Dr. Mindy Brasher, says the department has found that many people do not effectively clean poultry. Additionally, the report says the average person does not clean and sanitize the area in which the chicken is cleaned. So y'all still washing y'all chicken? Oh, no, after that. This nigga's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. The fuck kind of shit is that, bro? These niggas want us to die. These niggas want us to do. What the fuck are they talking about? How is cleaning something gonna cause illness? That don't even make
They're
sense.
saying when you open the package, the bacteria that spreads from the surface of the chicken, but it's still.
I'm not
still
taking no
wash
time.
it. Like I don't get it. Of course, they probably conduct studies and shit like that, but I'm still gonna wash my chicken.
For every study, there's another study that disproves it.
Exactly.
So,
Oh,
it's like,
typical.
you know,
You're right. Fact.
What'd he say?
for every
Every
study,
study.
there's another study that disproves it. You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
how science works. They're always
Everybody
on
got, like you
different
said
tangents.
earlier, everybody got their own opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And Brandon, you got one more thing. Go ahead. Brandon's got one more story for what's trending.
All right, we got a article here on Black North Carolina man arrested after false burglar alarm. So basically, this man in North Carolina, he was sleeping during the day because he's a promoter, like a music promoter during the nighttime, and his alarm went off because his friend accidentally tripped it. I guess that person was in the house with him. So apparently, it was connected to his phone, and then the police showed up. So this man woke up and then found that police were at his front door telling him to come out. He didn't know, he thought it was being robbed, so he had got his gun, which he had a permit for. So he basically came out and police told him to come out of his house, with his hands up, and he's like, for what? Because this is his house.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, and they kept repeating to come out. So, but he told them that he had a weapon. So they told him again to come out. He finally came out, and they put him in handcuffs on his knees in front of his entire neighborhood. And he kept telling them over and over and over, he's the homeowner for this house, and he lives in this, in this community. They didn't believe him. 4 or 5, I think 6 officers show up. A sergeant shows up, and they didn't, Finally, an officer who recognized him showed up, and they let him go. But when he was on the floor there waiting for them to sort out the situation, a lot of his neighbors were looking out their window, closing the blinds and seeing him in that situation. They didn't say nothing.
Hey, that sounds like America.
And it was Caucasian, police officers doing this to him.
Of course.
Which they didn't ask for identification, according to the article. They didn't ask for any of that to prove, who he is and where he's living.
Because they don't care about none of that. It's fucked up, bro. That's the country we live in. Like I said earlier, bro. It's the fucking country we live in. I'll be damned if that shit happened to me in my life. I have an alarm system, so if my shit come off and I go outside and police outside saying I'm trying to rob this house. It's my house. That's insane, bro.
Yeah, right.
And you're not asking for no ID, nigga. That's insane. It is literally insane the shit that we hear every day that's going on.
They have the right to do whatever they want to do. So it's
what's
like
really crazy is his neighbors didn't even say nothing, bro. They said it's
didn't come out and help him.
His neighbors, whenever he'll go out there now, he'll go outside now. His neighbors don't even want to come up and talk to him because
it's already too late. They already think he's that dude. So it's like,
and that's what he said. For defamation of character, that's why he'll probably bring a case toward the.
I just wish, like, when these things happen to, like, I mean, I know it's a hard job to be a police officer. Like, no matter what, nobody wants to police everybody thinking they can do whatever they want to do. But when you get it wrong, like, you should get in trouble for that.
Right, yeah. Especially if you kill
You know what I
somebody.
mean?
Like,
Like,
these officers are killing
you
people.
better
I feel
you're
like,
right.
it's just a lot of bad judgment in the police force these days.
Yeah.
It's a lot of horrible judgment. That's all it is. Because shit happens, Shit happens every day.
Yeah, right.
But these days, it's just a lot of ill will and a lot of,
Six a lot of
I mean, there's no other way to explain it. It's just like, and it's always been going on. People, like, some people, that is the weird thing about society, though. It's like, people have the bleak thing, like, oh, it's just getting worse. It's like, it's always been this way, and it's actually getting better because we are coming together and people know what's going on a little bit more. As back in the day, like, I think 30 years ago, like, this ain't getting no press or anything. Like, ain't nobody worried about that. You ain't hearing about that. It's still going on all the time. It ain't getting put on camera. And even when it did, Rodney King,
Yeah.
Dude still got off. That's why the LA riots happened. So
Yeah.
it's always been going on. So it is getting better in a weird way because we do tolerate each other. Not everybody's killing each other on every corner of the United States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
I
racially,
agree.
like
Yeah.
we are still segregated to some degree, but we also come together in a lot of ways that other places don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have to be positive on that. But people act like it was so great. Name a time in history where something like this wasn't going on. Like if we were like, oh, way back when? Hey, way back when what? Like how far you want to go? Like it's always been there. That's human nature.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what it's like, man.
It's
It is
fucked up.
wild when it happens, though.
Yeah, that shit is fucked up, man. But I think that's all we got for the segments. Well, we got shout out segment. Ryan has something. This thing.
I always just said shout out to Chick-fil-A, man. You know?
So yeah, he wants to shout out Chick-fil-A for the shout.
Popeyes,
Shout
you know,
out
that
feature.
bullshit.
Popeyes
Last
on that
couple days
bullshit.
and weeks, man. So Chick-fil-A been coming through for a day.
Bro, you seen that picture on Instagram that it was like a Popeyes worker that his head or the hands was in his head?
Oh
Like,
yeah, it was
on
a
parade.
lady. Yeah, it was a lady. Yeah, that shit was funny though. Anything for the fuck you segment? No. Anybody want to give a fuck you to, Chris? We got a fuck you segment. Where we give
Nah.
out fuck you. He's like, dog.
Nah, I'm good for right now.
All right, so no fuck you segment. And like I said, no Q&A segment. We had hour 15. That's really all we got. If y'all want to bullshit for a couple minutes, I mean, unless you ready to go, unless you gotta go
Appreciate
somewhere.
y'all
Yeah,
listening.
chill out.
Remember,
You got somewhere to go, Chris?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget y'all to subscribe, like, show y'all love.
Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. This is gonna be on SoundCloud and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All the information will be in the bio, not the bio, but the information on the info tab on SoundCloud, and it'll be in the description on YouTube. Anything else y'all want to talk about? We can bullshit for like 5 minutes. Talk about anything.
Yeah,
Shit.
you know.
What kind of music do you used to do, Chris?
We played like
Chris used to be in a
jazz
band,
and
so
hip hop and metal and funk and just all kind of different stuff. We do some covers like we were just a total independent band, so we booked all our own shows and our own tours and released our own albums like with no help at all.
Oh shit.
Like, well, we had help from our bass player and vocalist. They were brothers, and their father basically funded. He was like our record label.
yeah.
You know, and then help from many people around the country. Like we toured for about like 3 years, but it took us like 8 years to work up to get to that point because we went through a lot of stuff. Like we went through like Hurricane Katrina,
Yeah.
and one of the band members went to Iraq and all that stuff, and then came back, and then we finally got to a place where we could tour.
Yeah.
We did that for a while, so it was a cool experience. But yeah, we played all kind of like literally all kind of different music. Like
Was it touring just here in the U.S. or was it?
yeah, we never went out of the country, but it's like I've been to every state in America but 3 of them.
Damn.
So,
What 3 you haven't been to?
I've been to Vermont, Maine, or Hawaii,
Oh, okay.
but I've been
Damn,
everywhere else.
nigga, that's crazy.
Been everywhere else, yeah.
What's all? So you lived in New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina? I think you told me.
Yeah,
that.
my
So
neighborhood was actually
what's
in the
all the
top 10.
You told me all the places you lived in. I was like, nigga, that's a lot of places. What's
There's
all the
a lot of
places?
places.
What's all the places you lived at?
All right, I was
You can
born
name-
in Alaska.
Oh, okay, damn.
in Alaska?
Yeah, my dad was in the Air Force, but both my parents are from South Central Los Angeles, so
Okay.
I lived there as a kid as well. Also lived in, I believe I lived in North Dakota for a little bit. I lived in Utah, lived in Idaho. I've lived in Las Vegas twice. I lived in Colorado, North Carolina, Georgia,
Yeah.
California multiple times.
Nigga, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I don't think I've ever.
Utah.
I've never met anybody
Yeah.
that's lived in that many places, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, I moved around a lot, man. Like
Yeah.
it's just always been that way. So it's crazy for me. Like even when I went to high school, like there's kids that they known each other since they were in like kindergarten, and I'm just like, damn, like
Yeah.
I ain't talked to anybody that I knew other than my siblings
Right, yeah.
when I was in kindergarten, you know, stuff like that. So I've moved a lot. So it's like, you know,
Do you still do your music stuff anymore or what?
yeah, I still do. Like I do, like just I work on my own stuff. You know, it takes forever to release anything like that because just after being in that band, I put a lot of work into that. Like I played with other bands and stuff like that. I did like some studio work with other people, and I've gone on other tours with people. That's just playing like their music or cover songs or something like that. But now I just kind of focus on trying to write music that I want to write and like develop my technique and stuff. So that, like I said, that's a lot of reasons why I don't know a lot of certain rappers or whatever, because like I've always been into hip hop and I've always loved hip hop, but I also got real deep into trying to get good at, well, I play drums too. I play drums and guitar, so like I'm way into musicians.
Yeah.
So I check out a lot of records that these dudes are on, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of that's brought me back to some of the hip hop and R&B that I listen to, because a lot of those guys are dudes I listen to on something else. So it's like
Right.
That's for a lot of the music I like too. Like, you know, I look at it different because a lot of people, when they're not musicians, you're hearing the whole song as it's supposed to be heard, how the artist wrote it. I'm breaking it down like, how did the dude record it? Like, oh, that bass line's dope. Oh, those are cool kicks he's using. If it's like hip hop or guitar wise, like, oh, the riff this dude is playing, or he's playing a minor 7 flat 5 over a dominant chord or whatever, you know, like just stupid stuff like that. So I analyze the song too much sometimes to get the whole song.
All right. Okay.
So I just hear it different. So it's like I have a different taste in music, and I've always been like that. I've always liked bands that like, I like underground bands. Like, man, y'all know about this dude. Y'all know about this dude either.
Yeah.
You know, I always
Okay.
like stuff like that. So
My nigga, that's what's up,
so
bro.
it's just different. So a lot of times I'm out of the loop with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's all good. Nothing wrong with that.
Then that means you have a taste of everything, though.
A little bit, yeah. Because if you want to be a musician, like,
gotta
you
get
definitely can hear every style of music, like even country music, man. Like, it all has its good stuff, but you have to
Yeah.
dig to find it sometimes.
Yeah, so I listen to
Yeah.
some country. Some country.
I don't personally
They got
listen.
that
I don't personally listen to
Nah,
country.
I do. I actually do.
I don't listen to it, but like
Stick
there's
to listen to
good
bluegrass.
guitar players, like, you know, dudes that have cool techniques, like Chet Atkins, like Lenny Bro, Jerry Reed, homeboy that's in Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know if
I
you ever
don't
seen
know.
that movie. That's an old school like movie.
Nah.
But
This nigga.
dude's a dope guitar player though. There's a lot of dope musicians out there. Like
Yeah.
even dudes like Sammy Davis Jr. like back in the day, or
Yeah, I know who that is. Yeah, I know who that is.
or Jerry Lewis, who's a comedian. Like those dudes could play music. Like Steve Martin, he's a comedian. Like back in the day, like entertainers, they'd be like 3-way people. Like they had to sing, dance, and act.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be able to do all that stuff. So they were like really talented. Not to say dudes these days aren't talented, because they are. They're like specialists. You know.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So when somebody asks where you from, where do you say that you're from?
I just tell them I'm from the West Coast, because that's basically it. Like I went to high school in Idaho, you know, but I didn't move to Idaho till I was
What
like
what state
11.
did you graduate in?
Idaho, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
But I didn't move
I
there
have
till I was like 11.
never met anybody from. That's where you just went, right?
Yeah, I just went there. It was my mom's birthday. Shout out to
Yeah.
my mom.
Yeah.
Love you, mom.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So we appreciate you coming, man. For real, bro.
Yeah, I
you
appreciate
coming.
you all helping me, man.
Yeah,
It's
because
cool.
we
It's cool.
planned this like 2 weeks ago, and you said that you would come.
Yeah, I
so-
forgot. You know, you hit me
Yeah.
up. I was going out of town.
Yeah, so we appreciate that, man. So yeah, that's all we got, you guys. We hour 20. I think this is gonna be our longest episode by like 10 minutes, so it's all good. But we appreciate you listening. If you listened this far, like I said, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The links to that will be. I'll put Ryan and Chris's Instagram and shit in there with me and Brandon's. That's gonna be in the description box on YouTube and SoundCloud. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's all we got for you guys.
And don't forget to send your questions to
Yeah.
askinsensitive@pod@gmail.com.
Yeah,
the link
send-
will be in the description.
Yeah, send all Q&A questions. AskInsensitivePod@gmail.com. We're not going to do it today because I knew this was going to be a long podcast. So it's all good. Next week. That's it, Chris. You good? Appreciate it. You got anything else to say?
Yeah, support these brothers, man. They're doing good things.
Yeah, appreciate it,
you
bro.
know,
Appreciate that,
the
man.
Young Bucks get it right. You know, they're doing good stuff. So support.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys. And we will see y'all next week. This is episode 9. Hopefully next week we'll have that Apple thing up. We'll let y'all know. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Thank you for listening, guys.